faith of a mustard seed. Get up on your feet, rise up.
Welcome to another segment of the Drexwell Seymour Show. And of course, I am Drexwell Seymour. Today I'm going to have a conversation with a young person who is about to start university in a field that really hardly anyone from Turks and Caicos, I believe, pursue. And that field is agriculture studies, and I admire this because I think it's well needed, not only in Turks and Caicos, it's well needed in the world. We need to have people with expertise in agriculture. It's a way of living. It can help us to determine, the quality of food we eat, because our health is our wealth, and it's important for us to understand what we're doing, making sure we're eating the right kind of foods and food that is grown, locally, because we import almost everything in Turks and Caicos. And hopefully, after this conversation, we'll be encouraged, and even to continue with our home gardens, and encourage the government to make this a big priority on their list for scholarships. And I believe that this is going to be the beginning of something great. And I admire this young man for pursuing this field of study. And with that said, I want to welcome Jayvano Higgs, and he's the son of Shameen Elliott, who was my classmate in high school, actually. And my father's Jay.
Yes, sir, John.
John. All right. With that said, I want to welcome you to the show.
Thank you. You're very welcome.
So tell us a little about you. I mean, you're 21 now?
Yes, sir.
You're 21, so tell us what you've been doing for the past few years.
So I graduated high school in 2018.
Oh, okay.
And at that time, like most teenagers, I was still on the fence about what I wanted to do. And so what I did was I took a year off to decide, but after that I still didn't have a full understanding. So I took to where my head was going. So I went into a construction internship with Olympic Construction. I did 6 months underneath the project manager, David Doty, and I worked alongside him. And I honestly am very thankful for those months because I learned more about economics and the workplace than I have in the entire formal years before that.
Yeah, I think that hands-on.
Yes, sir.
It's much better than in the classroom. You learn so much with the hands-on.
I agree. I agree.
And some of the things you didn't learn in the classroom.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So after 6 months of that, basically what I did was everything that he did. He told me what he was doing and what I was doing, and we just sat at separate sections of the container office. And I realized after 6 months that, I wanted to enjoy what I did and make a difference. So I went from not knowing at all what I wanted to do to having an idea of the kind of impact I wanted to make.
Got it.
Right. And still, at that age, I still had no idea what that was. So I tried to diversify my work experience by going into a different field. And, our bread and butter is tourism.
Yes.
And so I spoke to a very close friend of mine, Zeke Hamilton. He told me that there was an opportunity for me to work in water sports. And I always found it interesting and something that I held near and dear to my heart because at that time I had already done an instructional program with Wake to Wake. They taught me how to wake surf and wake.
Oh, okay. I wish I knew how to do those things.
Yeah, it was an interesting experience, 100%. Far from anything that I had ever experienced before that, and I loved it. So I went for an interview, and during the interview, it came up that I did the instructional when I was in high school, and it just so happens that they were entering a pilot program where they got a water sports boat where they did wake surfing and tubing. And
at the high school?
No, at the resort that I went for an interview.
Oh, okay.
So they told me that it was an opportunity for me. It was open, and I took it, and I don't regret it. It's another great opportunity that I had. I was with the Blue Haven Resort for maybe another 6 months. And inside of the Turks and Caicos collections, I went from water sports to the marina. And around that time, that's when COVID hit.
Oh, okay, 2020.
Threw a monkey wrench in everybody's plans.
Tell me about it.
Yes, sir. So during that time, I got a taste of the real issues, and people lining up outside of grocery stores, and the price hikes that they had. It was a nightmare, especially for my family, because my brother, he was an essential worker. He worked for a power company, so it took a real toll on everyone.
It did.
And that sparked a light bulb in my head. It made me understand that there's something to be desired about our agricultural system. The way that we feed our population, there's something to be desired there. So I did my research, and I found that 100% of all great civilizations started with innovating the agricultural system. And even now, there's statistics showing that 2 to 4% of an increase in the agricultural system can increase the lower income parts of a civilization. And
Is it because of the poverty or
no, it's
just
more
the
along,
need because
yes,
we need
it's everybody just having what they need to survive.
Got it.
Once
So
they have their essentials,
it's a basic need.
a basic need. Yes, sir. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. But once you get your essentials, it finds that it takes mental stress off of people's head.
Absolutely.
You have time to do things that you feel like you can more invest. Like it's better. You better allocate resources, basically.
Gotcha.
So I did my research, and by the end of 2020, I realized, okay, this is it. I'm getting into agriculture. So
something good came out of COVID.
yeah, that's the take you can take from me. Yeah, something good came out of it, but I still had no idea how I was gonna get there and what it would take from me to get there. And by that time, the gentleman that had me in water sports, my friend who got me the job, he was already in the UK. So I spoke to him. He helped me understand what's necessary for me to get my feet under me once I get there. And I got to it, I got to work. So at that time, I did apply for a government scholarship as well, but I didn't get it. So I just told myself, you know what? The restrictions are lightening up in a few months. I have the money saved. I just need to go for it. I just need to make the
So you took that risk.
Yes, sir.
Went on your own and paid for your education.
Yep. I took the money I had out my own pocket. I lived with that same friend, Zeke Hamilton, and I got my education myself, and I don't regret it, not for one.
That is awesome. So what did you? So what education level? What was that you studied?
So because of my age, I wasn't qualified for the A-levels classes, but I did the A-level equivalent, higher education, access to higher education, which was, in my opinion, it was more useful for me because the structure of the education is not college level. They give you university level, university style parameters, and they give you the work that's essential for every course within that grade and subject level. So I did chemistry, biology, and a bit of human social biology.
Oh wow! And so you've just completed that?
Yes, sir, I've completed it.
So that was a 1-year program?
Yes, sir.
It was a 1-year program. And now you are on your way to university.
Yes, sir.
And what are you going to study?
I'm studying agriculture. So agriculture?
Just agriculture.
Yes. Most people, they have a misconception about agriculture as being farming. But it's an umbrella term, just like you have medicine and law. You have lawyers that study law. You have general practitioners that study medicine. If I study agriculture, it's what's known as an agronomist.
Right. And so, how long will that program be?
So it is 3 years.
For your bachelor's?
Yes, for your bachelor's. But I'll be doing 4 years because after my after my second year, I'll do a placement year where I'm actually put into the agricultural industry and I'll get hands-on experience.
Oh, okay. So like a work experience.
Exactly.
I like
Precisely.
that. I always feel that whenever individuals go to, I always feel that universities should have a program in place for internship, whereby because sometimes the theory is fine, but when you the hands-on, you'll find the theory prepares you,
100%.
but that hands-on is so powerful. You might even decide when you do the hands-on, well, maybe that's not what I want to do. So it's important, I believe, for all universities to have that element in their programs. I'm happy to hear that.
100%.
So it'll be 4 years now because you're going to have that year of the work experience.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And the university that I'm going to be attending will be Nottingham Trent University. They actually are really close partners with the National Trust in the UK.
Oh.
One of the biggest landowners in the UK. So they have a system in place where for young budding farmers, they can actually work under the National Trust and tend some of the farms that they have in their portfolio. So it's instant work placement after you get your degree.
Awesome. So I know the process you got to go through. I think after you finish, you apply like 5 universities. That works in the UK?
Yeah, if you use UCAS, they make you choose 5 universities. After a certain point, you choose your primary
top.
and your backup.
So the school you're going to is your top.
Yeah.
Okay. And are you going to be, is that going to be funded by you as well, personally, by you and your family personally, or are you getting a scholarship?
Well, I applied for the Turks and Caicos scholarship, the grant, but I am uncertain if I'll be getting it as yet. And they haven't emailed me personally to give me a decision as yet, but I have redundancies because would be my 3rd time applying and not getting it.
Your 3rd time?
If I don't get it, because I did it as soon as I graduated high school.
Oh, yes.
I applied for it. I applied for it when I was leaving my water sports job, and I didn't get it. And this will be my 3rd time. So if I don't get it this time after completing my application, I'm prepared. To say
Well,
the least.
I will tell you this. I know you applied 3 times.
Yes,
I know it could be very discouraging. I would tell you, don't give up.
Yes, sir.
I believe someone of your caliber who's studying agriculture, I think that's awesome. That's significant for any person, any country to have. And if you're not successful this time, apply again next year.
Yes.
And then I think in the UK, I think once you reside here for 3 years, I believe, you could apply for some grant from the United Kingdom government. So that's something you could consider as well.
100%.
Yeah. And so don't give up, and I'm glad. I know you're not going to because you already reached this far, and I know your mom for sure will do all she can to make sure that you are in university to complete your degree. Now, there's a big concern about mass exodus of people leaving the Turks and Caicos to go to the United Kingdom. I mean, people are leaving. I don't think it's in the thousands that people say it is.
Yes.
I think people are leaving. Of course, you're going to school, so you're leaving to go to university. We don't have that subject here.
Yes.
Is it your plan? Do you intend to return to Turks and Caicos?
100% my plan.
Oh, awesome.
Because to be honest, the opportunities that you see in the UK, it's saturated market. There's people already doing the things that you see out there.
Absolutely.
You're just going to be competing along with people who've been doing it for generations. Generational families of lawyers and doctors and agronomists. And for you to try and hop into that market being green, it's not a good plan. So it's better off you take the education, you take the experience, you take your knowledge that you gain from there, and you try and build your own generational, dynasty in the country, because
I like
here
it. I
it's
love
open market. There's nobody. The industries here are so rich for you for plundering. It's
The opportunities here.
yeah,
Opportunities here.
opportunity.
And that's why I don't understand why people say they have to leave. I know it's frustrating.
Yeah,
Just like how you with the scholarship.
yeah,
People probably are not getting the job that they want, or the business that they try to start. They are probably discouraged, but you just can't give up.
I understand.
You gotta keep pursuing it. If you believe in something, you believe that's for you. You should. I mean, I've been in business now for 10 years,
Right.
and if I could do it, other people could do it. Running away to the UK is not the answer. You're gonna find issues there as well.
Yep. I think it's more along the lines of, there's a lot of utilities that the UK has that is not available here.
Explain that. What do you mean?
So when I say utilities, I mean the cellular service, for instance, something small, cellular service, something that you don't have to worry about. There's mass manufacturing there that will bring the expense of certain things
I got
down.
you. So the cost of living, better.
Well, actually, not precisely cost of living. They're having a cost of living crisis actually in the UK. But everything else, like things that you need for just day-to-day survival, is not as expensive in the UK as it is here.
That's true.
But the trade-off, you're trading a lifetime of possible wealth and abundance for today's stress or tomorrow's stress. If you just persevere through it at home and you focus on making yourself the best possible Turks Islander that you can be, if everybody did that, this country would be a better place.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Have you met with the Ministry of Agriculture?
So when I left in 2021, I reached out. I tried to see, if I can get some information on the kind of things that I would need to become an agronomist. But I feel like, for instance, for February in 2022, after I left, was when they started posting on Facebook about the innovations that they're making in agriculture. So I feel like they just started to kickstart the things that they're doing in agriculture since I left. So my time here, while I'm visiting, I'll be sure to visit more farmers, more of the agricultural specialists, the government farm in North Caicos. I'll try to get my hands on the climate of the industry here and see how in the next 4 years I can contribute and make the place better.
Wow, that's awesome. But I mean, I know you're going to be leaving soon to go back. But while you're here, just see if you get to the ministry's office. I think they're located in Butterfield Square.
Yes, sir.
So just go there, introduce yourself, speak to the director and the team. Let them know who you are and stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
Because one day I'm hoping that you return. Maybe not right away, but you'll be the director of the agriculture. I mean, I think that's possible.
But there's no limit.
What else do you think, as a young person, what else do you think we need to do to encourage our young people to remain home, or to even provide them with hope? There are so many things happening. We have so many young men who are being murdered or being killed. They're joining gangs. What do you think we need to do?
Well, I can speak from personal experience. So
Sure.
I grew up between South Caicos and Providencia Islands. Equally split my life in two. I've been between those two islands. I've attended 8 different schools in the Turks and Caicos because of my moving back and forth.
Right.
So I have a lot of friends in public school, private school, and I can say for a fact that they're bored. A lot of the youths, they're bored. They don't have nothing to do. So they're drawn in by this Western ideology that you see in social media, the things that you see happen in the U.S., that culture. They need to find a culture of their own. You have some more cultural events that the Turks Island youth can go to and, actually listen and speak and spend time with the people that you think are that's just a kid that you see every day when you get ready for work in the morning, that's sitting, outside the store. Learn his name, see what he's up to. Why is he there every morning?
I like that.
Take accountability for your neighborhood, for the people that you see around you. Don't just say, oh, that's somebody else's problem. Because you see somebody throw a piece of trash in Blue Hills or downtown. When you drive across there in 10 years, that piece of trash can still be there. because this is a small community. Believe it or not, my city, my area in Leeds is bigger than Provo.
That's a very, very good point you made. We need to be more involved in the community.
Absolutely.
We need to understand. We need to talk to the young people, understand what they're going through. Well, what is it that they want?
Absolutely.
Too many of us, I think, are pretty much selfish. We don't care about other people. We go about, and some of us are very busy. We don't even have time. But it can impact us for the rest of our lives.
Absolutely.
It might not impact you personally. It might impact your children, your grandchildren, your friends and family. So it's important for us to help one another, understand what it is that we need to help, fill that void or that gap or that whatever they say is boring. I mean, see what it is we need to do.
Yes.
And you're absolutely right. A very, very good point.
Yes, sir.
Do you have anything else you want to share? I'm very proud of you, by the way. Very proud. This is great. I'll be keeping in contact with you now that I have your number.
Yes, sir.
Following up on you in your studies.
Yes, sir.
Any closing remarks you want to say?
First and foremost, I want to thank the Creator. He's the one who inspired me and allowed me to get this far in life.
Yes.
Thank you. And I want to thank my father, Jay Higgs. He's been, a pillar in my life,
Awesome.
especially in this time since I left home, because he's the more traveled out of my two parents. So I go to him for advice. I go to him for knowledge.
Awesome.
I want to thank all my friends that support me in this endeavor. The people who told me, jump, just go. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank all my teachers, Mr. Walken. Thank you for always telling me that I had something in me.
That's Wesley?
Yes, Wesley,
Okay.
Mr. Walken.
Yes.
And to the people who see me and they see themselves, the youth, I think we see each other and we don't concern ourselves with the problems that you might feel like they're going through. It's okay to ask somebody, yo, you all right? And make sure that your brother or your sister, because that's what we are, brothers and sisters. This place too small to think of anything else.
Exactly.
You got to take care of each other like your family, because sometimes that's all a person has. Last thing, my mom. She's my age, the only thing that helped me through the dark times that I've ever had, the few dark times, but she's there, she keeps me going.
Well, Jayvano, I want to thank you for being a guest on the Drexel Seaman Show. I'm very proud of you, as I said earlier, and I'm glad to see that you recognize your friends, your teachers, and both of your parents who are part of your journey. And I know you have another 4 years before you complete your degree, but I'm looking forward to what you're going to be contributing to the Turks and Caicos Islands. I'm also happy to hear that you plan to return home, and I wish more people would have that same attitude as you. I mean, we complain a lot about people leaving the country. We also complain about foreigners coming in the country. But if we leave the Turks and Caicos, then we will be replaced by people who are not from Turks and Caicos. That's the choice that we made. I also want to say how thankful I am that you are majoring in a non-traditional area, agriculture. You find a lot of people, being pressured, or they feel that they're going to make a lot of money, so they major in these other areas. But you major in agriculture. You see the need during COVID, and because at that time you know what you want to do, but now you know what you want to do, and you could do something else, but you chose agriculture, and that tells me that you're passionate about the Turks and Caicos Islands. You're passionate about your country. You see that we need it, and that's what we need to do. We need to be more passionate. We need to be more patriotic, and if we are passionate and we're patriotic about Turks and Caicos, we will remain in Turks and Caicos. We're not going to be saying, "Oh, we're going to leave. We're going to leave. We're going to leave." We have to be more patriotic. And I want to wish you the best in your studies If there's anything that I could help you with, please let me know. You know, don't feel like you can't reach out to me, because I want to see you succeed. I mean, you will succeed.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to give you one of my books. It's called Succeeding in Your Position. And I believe you could apply those tips as well to succeed in your position. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Wish you the best.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.